two, 1 2. Can you turn me up just a little bit? Test it. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Yeah, I sound good. Check your mic, Sha, to see how you sound.
Yo.
You good? Yeah, yeah, you good. Welcome to Straight No Chase, the talk show. My name is fountaine. I have the pleasure of having a very special guest for many, many reasons. And I had to ask him personally if I could talk about certain things. Because, you just have to know, if certain things are off the table. And he basically is like, man, listen, you know me all my life. It is what it is. So the topic of tonight's show is a world without religion. What would a world without religion be? What would the actions of people be like? Because some people feel as though religion somehow instills a moral compass onto people. Some people feel as though without religion, we would just be running around crazy, acting the fool, and just wilding out, and just straight savages. But my counter to that is, shit, that's what people are doing now with religion. You feel me? So when I listen to people say that, they need this, maybe the placebo effect works for some people. And the placebo effect is like, if you think something works for you, then it actually does. It doesn't have to have any particular properties that actually change your way of thinking or change your mind or whatever. But if people think that they're doing better because of something, then I guess they'll do better. Shah, when you listen to someone talk about religion, right, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? You could pull the mic in close if you don't want to lean over. Yeah.
Well, I guess I think passionate a little bit, because if a person believe what he believe, he's gonna be passionate about it. But to me, religion's not a joke. It's serious, because you have people dying, millions of people dying over the name of Allah. But you got your extremists,
Mm-hmm.
But we can't. Who is us to judge to say that they not Muslim too? You know what I'm saying? They just extremists. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I grew up under the school of thought. The 5 percenters was all throughout South Jamaica. They was throughout New York. So basically, growing up in the 70s, in the 80s, everybody either had a righteous name or they had something to do with the 5% nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? At once upon a time, I was 5 years old. My uncle was the guard body. I was living in 40 projects, but my mother was living in Redfern. So they had this guard named Father Divine, walk with a limp, and he was my uncle with light and I'm young, we young, don't eat pork, don't eat this, so you kind of gravitate to those type of things. So then I become a newborn. I'm a baby. I'm 5 years old. I can't even read really, but they was feeding me the lessons by Bible and stuff like that, and and my attribute at the time was born king, and I don't really go by that no more. I never really went by that, but born king, but it always would be my attribute because I was born a king.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I said, my ancestors, come from Asia. They come from, I'm an Asiatic black man, and I don't consider myself coming from ancestors from slaves. I consider myself more Ethiopian. They wasn't slaves. They had their own little problems, but they wasn't slaves. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really consider myself. I don't consider myself a descendant from slaves. You know what I'm saying? I consider myself a descendant from kings, queens, gods, and goddesses. You know what I'm saying? But however, what I was saying with the religions, what I was trying to get where I was coming with religion, I think people use religion the wrong way. A lot of people use it as a tool to control people's mind and brainwash them.
Well, let me ask you a question. Based upon the tenets of religions, right? And I'm gonna exclude Buddhism because Buddhism is more of a way of life than it is a religion. There are tools and there are certain tenets, there's certain scriptures that tell people what they can and can't do. So, in of itself, it's a controlling mechanism. Because I could basically, and I posted this on Facebook, and I had said something, and I'm gonna paraphrase myself. I said, well, what if a Muslim, a Jew, a Christian, and an atheist were working at they were volunteering at some type of center to help out the disadvantaged, and you are standing across the street and you're watching them help people. How would you be able to tell who's the atheist, who's the Muslim, who's the Jew, who's the Christian? You wouldn't be able to tell.
Because at the end of the day, the human race, that's what we really in.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able.
You can't tell.
You can't tell because the basic deeds of a person is not regulated to a specific religion.
I agree.
If you're a decent person, right? You're a decent person, and that's it.
I agree.
You feel me? Religion doesn't own the copyright to decency.
I agree.
And there are plenty of people that are not religious at all. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to any kind of church, mosque, synagogue, nothing. They don't pray to the east. They don't do any of that, and they're decent people.
I agree.
Now, the thing that I question all the time is when you say to yourself, or if you say to someone else, I'm just a good person, period. Whereas, okay, religion may provide some sort of structure, right? Things that you don't do, things that
it's like an organization, basically.
Yeah, but see, there are also things like, thou shalt not.
I agree.
Covet another man's wife.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's common knowledge. If that's that man's woman, right? Then why you fucking with her? That's common knowledge, right? But
they say the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, forbidden fruit. But the thing is, even in a sense where you're not supposed to do something, you do it anyway. See, most of the people that I know that have done wrong, it's not like they didn't know right from wrong. True. They knew what was wrong, and they said, "Fuck it."
They knew the consequences.
Exactly. I'm doing it anyway because this is what I want to do. It's not like people are oblivious to morals and decency.
True.
Because they haven't read a particular scripture. You feel me? Because people live civilized lives that have never read a book.
It's just common sense.
Exactly.
It's in that.
Exactly. So now my question to you is, what do you think about religion to a degree maybe polluting the minds of already just innately decent people?
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. You know how you know somebody all their life?
Yeah.
They might have went and did some time or went somewhere, and then they came back and they found religion.
Yeah.
Now they're a totally different person.
Yeah.
But deep down, it's still all that bullshit in it.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Yeah.
You come home for doing the bid, now it's assalamu alaikum, brother.
Yeah.
Right? But then 6 months come down the line, you tell them, yo, let me get that kid, let me get everything.
Yeah.
So you didn't really change. You might have got smarter, but you use it. So now you using those tools that you got from that religion.
Mm-hmm.
It's good that you studying, you know history and all that, right? But now you using it the wrong way
To manipulate. And for some people, they feel as though if they do XYZ under the name or guise of their God,
True.
then it's righteous. You feel me? Sometimes people have it's called forgive me if I mispronounce the word authoritative complex, meaning that authoritative complex. Fuck it. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, so what? Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's they take the word
inferior.
No, inferior. They take the word of someone of authority as that's the gospel.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
You feel me? Like if someone says, "Oh, well, such and such says," nine out of 10 dentists say, use this particular product. Well, he a dentist, and so he should know.
I agree. That's just like a lot of quote and unquote.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of black people, right? Me and you could be telling them that this is blue over here. This is definitely blue, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But they will go to a white man, and the white man will tell them that it's black, and now it's black.
Yeah, because someone that they think has more authority,
Exactly,
and that their word holds more weight.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, it has to be true if so and so said it.
Exactly.
That's how athletes get endorsements, because if Michael Jordan wears this sneaker,
True.
It's a superior sneaker to every other sneaker,
which
is a bunch of bullshit. I think long and hard sometimes about like why I do what I do, and like in a certain era, you may grow up in a certain era where these things are applicable to that time. Where we grew up, you had to be a certain way if you wanted to exist or just be, period, in that particular era. So you would adapt to your environment, to your situations. But then as you get older and the society looks at you different, may treat you different, then you don't have to be that way. I know it was a story where, shout out to Booker G, he said that he was involved in a young man's life, and the young man was in a youth facility, and he used to hide bowls of cereal under his bed. So he asked the dude, like, yo, why you got like 6 bowls of cereal under your bed? He said, because when I was younger, the way his parents used to punish him was they would take his food. They would starve him. That was his punishment. So he learned to take way more food just in case if they got him on that starving
survival.
shit.
He's surviving.
Bingo. Exactly.
You're surviving. Your survival makes him just click in.
Exactly. He said, so even though he's not in that environment, he still does it.
He's self-conscious.
Exactly. So my question is always, when it comes down to the religious aspect, there are things that were ingrained in us from when we were little, because we weren't educated. We were indoctrinated. They told us this is what it is, and if you question it, how dare you question it? Like, what's wrong with you? You don't question Jesus. You don't question the Quran. You don't question Moses.
True.
You don't question it. You just do it. So as when we're younger, even if we say, yo, that shit don't make sense,
I agree.
We felt like it was wrong, and they tell us we going to hell. So damn it, I can't even think now.
I agree.
Because if I use my cognitive thought that I'm born with and develops,
I agree.
if I attempt to use it, I'm scared to death that something's going to happen to him. I'm going to burn in hell.
I agree.
You feel me? So a lot of things that we learn kind of like retarded our just natural spiritual growth. They just threw this on us and said, this is what you believe. Nobody ever asked me what church I wanted to go to.
True.
If I wanted to go to church, do you want to be a Muslim? What you want to be? You want how about the Judaism? You want to try that? No, it was this is what you are.
True.
And I'd be like, okay, so this is what it is. In your opinion, when you are walking around in everyday life and you see different people, especially New York City, from people from all over, different races, ethnic backgrounds, whatever case may be, when you look at people, how do you gauge a person? Is it religion based? Is it action based? Is it their motivation? How do you look at a person?
That's a very interesting question. Actually, me being incarcerated for almost 30 years, then it was really 30 years for real. But I have to discern the difference from being in the penal system and being out here. Now, when I'm in jail,
when you were in jail,
when I was in jail,
gotcha.
Yeah, when I was, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I was in jail, I paid attention to people, but I guess because you see them every day and you kind of know they characteristics and you know what I'm saying. You pay attention. Don't get me wrong.
You're really familiar though.
You familiar right now out here. When I see somebody, if it's a female, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of be like, oh, she alright, or I don't think nothing else. I don't think what religion she is or nothing like that. I might think like, damn, can I go over there asking for a number or something like that? Or
is her character what stands out more so?
nah, I don't really. I really don't judge like that because I don't think like that because I could see somebody. I'm not wired like that. I don't think like that.
I asked you that question because a lot of times people tend to find religion when they're incarcerated.
Yeah.
Your name is Mark Jones, right? And then you get locked up and you get your DEN number. Now your name is Malik.
No, I agree.
You feel me? And like you had stated earlier, people will adopt that religion and use it as a mask.
Or shield or protection.
Yeah, right. And use it to say, well, I'm with them, and this particular group of people is known as peacemakers, or they can put in work if need be, but necessarily like we're peacemakers. We're all about peace. You know what I'm saying? Or we're all about the Lord. We're all about this, whatever. But this is us. So you get in with that, and they blend in with it, and it's a disguise. Because every person that says to me, "Assalamu alaikum, brother," that doesn't make me trust you.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, they be the ones that be doing the most.
But now, so from you brought it up, and I was going to bring it up. You were incarcerated for 30 years, and damn, I'm saying to myself, the last time I saw you walking around for more than a year, you were 18 years old.
True.
Right? You got a birthday coming up in June.
Yeah.
I got my facts together, right? And I remember you converting to Rastafarianism, if I'm correct.
Yeah, when I
Selassie, right? Right?
Yeah. That's when I was in the street though.
Yeah. What made you convert to Rastafarianism, and what was the difference, if there was a difference, between being a Rasta and just living a regular, everyday productive life?
Actually, it's Rastafari. I know they say Rastafari, and the people is Rastafari. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's really a culture, it's a way of life.
Okay.
And it was a light that drew me to it.
I mean, when you say way of life, a way of decency, respect,
yeah.
respect.
It's a way of life. It's a way they don't eat no meat,
eating healthy
and stuff like that. But it was, and I fell in love with Bob Marley music too, though. So Bob kind of like converted me too.
Do you think because now you have people that are vegans, right?
Yeah.
Or vegetarians, vegans, and they're living the same. They're putting into their bodies the same nutrients and same, properties that a Rasta would. You feel me? It's the same thing. You feel me? It's just, well, we don't do this and we don't do this and we don't do that in terms of what you put into your body.
But your body is your temple.
No, exactly. So my question really is, it's like they are tenets of Rastafari, right? They are tenets.
They got their influence throughout
the properties, right? That anyone can do, and it doesn't necessarily make it Rasta.
No, I agree.
You feel me? So now, are there? Because I'm not really too familiar with Rastafarians. I mean, younger, I was around. We just called them dreads. I'm talking about when I was like 7, 8 years old. My babysitters were from Trinidad and Jamaica. And that's where I first experienced dreads, someone with dreads. What's the difference between, I'm just a good person and I live righteous, but if you fuck with me, I'm gonna handle you. You feel me? As it should be with anybody. I did a little homework. I read a documentary. I watched a documentary about Haile Selassie and about how he was a very humble man, but really, really smart.
Oh, without doubt.
Extremely smart. And he's from Ethiopia.
Yeah.
You feel me? So when people think Rasta, they think Jamaican, Trini. They don't understand that the origin comes from Africa, Ethiopia. And he was a very intelligent man that knew how to, I don't want to say manipulate and have people confuse that.
Diplomacy.
Exactly. and taught self-worth and taught self-respect. But though that can be taught in any kind of way.
No, I agree.
I could just say to you, I could just be a motivational speaker and say, yo, Shaw, listen, man, you're a good dude, man. You got so many things to look for, live for. Listen, man, all that other XYZ, whatever, you don't even worry about that. That ain't even important right now. Just do this.
I agree.
I don't have to attach a God to it,
I
right?
agree.
For you to see my point. Why do you think, in your words, why do you think people attach a God or supreme being to a message?
I think some people are weaker than others. I think some people need a boost. Some people need something to believe in, something to hold on to, something to lash into. Now, we all...
How about something to fear? Would that be good?
Yeah, something to fear, too, because they always talking about fear God. You know what I'm saying?
The loving God, which confuses me.
You know what I'm saying? How you going to fear somebody you love or whatever? I don't know. But, I'm not really religious, none of that. You know what I'm saying? But, they say that. I'm not going to say I don't believe that there's a creator or the universe, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not overly crazy about
You're not a religious zealot.
Nah, I'm not religious at all because I'm going to do what I want to do.
Based upon
myself. I'm you know what I'm saying?
Would that be considered selfish or would that be considered strong mind? How would you if you had to put a title on?
It's not selfish because I'm a Cancer, right? I'm a Cancer and Gemini. I'm born June 21st. But I'm more of a Cancer. I am generous by fault. And that is my problem. But I kind of grew up in the era I grew up in the older people I grew up looking out for and I'm looking up to and all this, they always had money. They was giving money away, girls and all that. So I'm kind of under debt in that sense. So I'm not selfish at all.
I mean, when you say do what you want to do, is it at the expense of someone else?
Oh, no. See, reason why I say do what I want to do, because when I was younger and when I was a kid, and then when I started running around in the streets, I always was doing something that somebody else wanted me to do. So when I went and got 30 years, I said to myself, from this day forth, I'm going to do what I want to do. If a person don't like it, so be it. But I'm gonna be happy and do what I want to do.
Now, I'm gonna ask this question, and people sometimes will try to chastise me because they say, "Todd, you go all over the place with your topic," but no, everything is related. A religious person, right, joins the military, right, and now once you put on that uniform, you take orders. There are some things that may go against what they deem to be morally sound, based upon how they are as people. But, in the military, or I mean, in the other aspects, anywhere you wear a uniform, somebody's telling you what to do. And the people that tell you what to do don't wear uniforms. The higher up you go, they wear suits and ties.
True.
You feel me? And so, effectively, you become a person that is conditioned to just follow orders.
Oh, without doubt.
Right? Now, I mean, like I said, I known you all your life. You know me for as much as you can remember. You've known me. We've known each other. And I could say that you were a soldier. Not saying that you didn't have your own mind. Not saying that you couldn't think for self. But knowing the general that you were under, it was a justifiable situation based upon that era and that
True.
particular lifestyle.
I agree.
So it wasn't anything said to do
that was out of the
that general.
I agree.
That the general would
do himself. Oh, without doubt. No.
You follow me?
I agree with that 100%.
Okay, because some people will say, "Yo, go," but they ain't getting. They ain't getting in it.
See, this is the thing what people don't realize. It's nothing wrong with being a follower, right? Always saying don't be a follower. It's nothing wrong with being a follower. It's who you follow. You know what I'm saying? Because I could follow you to the promised land. You could take me to the promised land.
This is true.
And then one day maybe I could take somebody to the promised land because I learned from you. So every good leader had to have a follower. everybody.
You're right. Who are they leading? How can you lead unless you lead? You're right.
Exactly. So in that sense, you're right. You 100%. You know what I'm saying? So I was, but I wasn't really thinking about in that aspect. But like when you know when you in jail, you could easily get caught up too. You get caught up in the same thing, and your beef is you don't even got no beef, but your beef because of his beef.
So you can inherit certain things.
Yeah, you inherit certain things. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like in the feds, it's real geographic, right? Because you now it's state.
So what car were you in?
I really wasn't. I'm New York. Basically.
Okay.
I mean, you know, if something happened in New York, I'm a ride out with them.
For people that don't, I know what car means.
Yeah.
That's why I said it. So for people that don't understand what car means, and when you're in the federal penitentiary,
it mean like a clique. It ain't really a gang, but it's like the crew, who the people you with. You know what I'm saying? Basically, if you from New York, that's gonna be your car. If you from DC, that's your DC car, and so and so and so and so. And then you got the gangs and all that.
Is there a religious car?
Yeah. They act like a gang.
Can you explain that to the, I mean, you got 30 years of knowledge. Can you explain what a religious car is like in a federal penitentiary, being that I guess someone had to do something wrong to be in the federal penitentiary, but what is a religious car like?
A religion card, you like the Muslims. The Muslims probably the deepest religion card. And they ain't nothing but a gang, for real. They try to be peaceful and all that, but then you got this. It's so many of them. You got the ones over here doing whatever they want to do. And
is it Sunni Muslim? It's
mostly Sunni.
Okay.
You got some Shiite, but it's mostly Sunni. But then you got the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is different from the Sunni. They under Farrakhan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So is there like I was reading up on some situations about guys from Philadelphia, which is they heavy in the mosque in Philly, and I was reading up about them being in not DC, and which one was it? I forgot what penitentiary it was, but anyway, they were involved in the penitentiary and they were real heavy.
No, it's serious in Philadelphia.
Okay, hold. We got the caller. Caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
This is Natasha. I'm starting to be regular,
Oh, this is Natasha?
Yes.
Natasha is driven?
Chime in. It sure is. It's Tasha is driven, but my name is Natasha.
Okay, Tasha is driven. Where you calling from?
Hello?
I said, where you calling from?
I'm rep New York. Come on, you know that.
Yeah, but where you calling from?
I'm calling from Florida, but I rep New York.
Okay. I know your question is directed towards my guest, Shawty. You ain't got nothing to say to me.
Exactly. Did you see my little comments that I put up?
Now, I couldn't see your comment because I can't actually follow everything because it's moving so fast.
Okay, I got
But
you.
I want enough of me and you BSing with each other. I want to actually listen to what you have to say.
Okay. Wait, I got to talk on this phone and get away from the video, Todd. I'm slow. Because I'm hearing the video.
Yeah. Can you walk away from the phone because we're getting feedback, please?
Okay, let me turn off the phone. Okay, I'll turn off the other phone. Okay, so basically, I guess it's more like a question comment because I'm not going to debate whether or not religion is real or not real. But I just want to know your guess that's there. What, in terms of if there was no quote-unquote organized religion, do you think that society would be safer?
Ooh, you made him raise his eyebrow.
That's tough. That's tough right there.
And the reason why I asked you that, I'm going to tell you why I asked that, because I believe that whether, again, if it's valid or invalid, whether it's true that there is a higher power or there's not, and I'm not going to even invoke my personal opinion, but I feel that quote-unquote organized religion has saved a lot of souls. So whether it's real or not, there are people that are sane or refraining from criminal acts, heinous behaviors because of religion. So, I mean, I always hear a lot of debate about religion.
I have to ask this question. So do you think that without religion, that those people would just be straight savage? And I asked this question because Texas has the death penalty, right? But does not have the lowest murder rate.
Right.
You feel me? So there's consequences.
Saying,
there's consequences that are put forth. If you do X, Y, Z in this particular state, we, the state, will murder you. We will give you the needle. And they say, "Fuck y'all! I'm gonna do whatever I want to do anyway." So when you talk about deterrence,
but listen, what I'm saying, I'm talking about in general. So I wasn't talking about a certain group of people, and I'm going to tell you why. So, I work with adolescents. A lot of the adolescents that I work with, all of the adolescents I work with have a psychiatric diagnosis. However, a lot of them have also been in juvenile detention centers, or shock programs. And what I've noticed is the ones that have been connected to some kind of organized religion when they were away, they tend to have refrain or not return to those other behaviors. So that was my question. I'm not saying all.
Okay.
I'm just saying the numbers are much lower.
I want Shawty to respond to that.
I understand now. I'll say this much. Organized religion is not a bad thing because you'll have people that might have didn't never read before. Now they reading, they more disciplined. They might become more responsible. So I definitely agree with you on that. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it's not a bad thing. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. But you're always going to have people that you got to watch out for now.
Now, what about in the onset of the show? You mentioned the people that have killed over organized religion, because one religion will tell you that we're the chosen people and they must die. There are instructions within numerous religious books, because I don't want people to think that I'm talking about one specific religion. No, I'm talking about religion in totality, or religion. There are people that believe that we are the chosen people, our God is right, and everyone else is wrong, and everyone else is worthy of death. There are scriptures that basically enforce that particular mindset. So, Tasha, when you talk about, I guess, morality issues, right, when it comes down to the people that you deal with, and I've quoted this brother many times, and I don't care what his religion is, not quoted him, but spoke about him, Les Brown. Les Brown is a motivational speaker.
Right, absolutely.
And I've watched many TED Talk speeches, right? And the people that were speaking and motivating, their religion wasn't even an issue. It didn't make a difference, because what they were talking about was common sense and facts, things that they can demonstrate over a period of time, and the result was the same. So I'm asking you, because come on, you're a doctor. You have your fucking PhD and all that shit. So what I'm asking you is the common denominator among the people that you deal with more so the instruction and the application of common sense and discernment and the communication, right? In whoever's instructing or talking to these young people, more so than you're going to face the wrath of a God if you don't do X, Y, Z.
I mean, I think that basically, again, that's why I started off by saying that I'm not going to say whether it's valid or invalid. I'm just saying that I see its purpose. And I know that some people can argue and say, yeah, its purpose during slavery was to keep us obedient. So I understand that there are people that, but I do believe that it does keep people obedient. Whether it's not fear that's invoked in them, whether it's a fear that. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Well, I apologize because you keep sparking up something in me that makes me want to say something.
Okay. Right. Okay.
What happens is, it keeps people obedient, right? But if the person that is being kept obedient, right, is being oppressed, and this is not a black or white thing or Asian or what, it's not racially, because many people.
That's why I'm saying I know that someone can argue and equate it to slavery, but I'm talking about today. I'm saying, yes, it does obedient in the sense of accountability. So if I believe that if I live an immoral life, I'm going to go burn somewhere, right? Then I'm going to act differently.
But if you even need something, right, to make you afraid of a particular hell or something like that, then you are innately evil, and you're going to be what you're going to be anyway.
But you know what, Ty? Guess what? Now let's just talk about it. So a lot of, especially when I was up there, okay, working in Jamaica High School for like 12 years, a lot of those kids, all right, they was in and out of foster care. They had no healthy caretakers. I'm not saying all, because of course, you know, there are a lot of good kids were from good families that attended that high school. So I definitely don't want anybody to think I'm talking about the school. Oh, I'm talking about during the time period that I worked in that school. That was the 80s craft babies that were attending the school at that time. Okay? These kids were lost. They had no daddies. Some daddies were not even known. Some daddies were incarcerated. Mom was still, you know, whatever, parents dying of AIDS, HIV, you know, sick, all kind of things. So these kids, they were hurt over and over and over. They grew up with no morals. Also, they grew up to be, like you, I think you mentioned the word soldiers, whatever you want to say. So again, I feel like some of these kids, religion, they went away, they came back. When I say went away, you guys know what I mean. I'm talking about either juvenile detention center, whatever they went to. They came back. If they got connected with somebody who was, quote unquote, with an organized religion, they were different. So again, I don't really like to debate about whether it's right or wrong. I just could say that I can see the purpose.
It is helpful. It's been helpful at times.
It's been helpful a lot.
I agree.
That I've seen.
I agree that there is a placebo effect.
Right.
I agree that there's a placebo effect. If you think something works, yes, because if you think something works for you, whether it actually does work for you,
or not,
it might motivate you to continue along the same path. Now,
exactly. And I don't know if you got a lot of people tuned in, but there's a church that I do attend when I come up there, and it's called Emmanuel Baptist Church, right? I'm not putting a plug, but that church is awesome because they...
How's she going to say she's not putting in the plug, but putting the plug?
But it's awesome because... Hey, listen.
You're not hanging up. You our third guest. You ain't hanging up.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you who she is. I'm talking to my Dusha team. I'm gonna tell you who she is.
I can't see though.
I know you can't see. Nah, you know her father. I'm gonna tell you.
Me?
No, I'm telling.
I know the person's father.
No, he knows your father.
Okay.
We're original South Side, right? It's 40 projects.
Let's keep that off out of this conversation.
I ain't saying I'm gonna mention them. I'm giving.
You can do it when y'all off the air.
No, I'm not gonna do it now. I'm giving him the back. I'm giving the backdrop to tell him like.
I got you.
So okay,
she a homegirl basically.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I said that so he could understand that he's not talking to some square chick that don't understand how we like. She know about the block, 150th Street,
all right.
South Road. She know about that. You feel me? So I gotta tell him that. So when you direct a question towards him, I want his answer to be genuine and don't hold back, not thinking that she may not really relate to that. Nah, I need him to give you the real. You feel me?
You want
yeah. Definitely.
You want the raw.
Yeah. Listen, Tasha. This is my dear friend. I can't remember not knowing him that just came home from doing 30 years in the federal penitentiary. And I remember sitting down with him because I went to visit him when he was in the halfway house, and I remember sitting down with him, and it's the first time I'm seeing this man in 29 years.
Wow!
Right? But he's the same dude. Like it ain't no. And I'm saying this to say because his core energy, right? He was okay. raise 5%, but his core energy is the same. You feel me? So, because I know him as a person, I know him as a 14-year-old, I know him as a 16-year-old, I know him as a 10. I know him. His core energy is the same. Now, there may be other things that were added on because of our circumstances. You know, we got layers to us, right? But his core energy, he's the same dude. So I view him not as what his arrest record, conviction record may say, not what the people in the streets may say. I view him as that he's the young man that I've known since I was knowing people. And that's that's, if I may say, his religion, like what you religiously do, what you do on a continual basis, his basis, his whole being comes from his spirit. And so when people ask me about, oh, you religious, you believe in God, I said, listen, I'm not an atheist. I don't say that there's no God, but I say that my description of God is based upon your energy, what I feel from you. When I come around you, do I feel uneasy? Do I feel like, oh, something funny about dude? Or, oh, girl, I'm not, you know, you feel it.
I see what you're saying.
You emit that energy. And so after not seeing him for 29 years, the first time I saw him, we had a conversation, right? And we sitting down like we just seen each other 2 weeks ago.
True.
You feel me? Because it's real, and that's what I recognize. So when I asked the question about what would the world be like without religion, in my opinion, the world would be more honest, because then we would have to judge, and judge means to assess, right? To determine. We would judge and assess each other based upon our natural characteristics and energy, and not upon titles that we were given or that we, you know, adopted because of our affiliations. You feel me? And then we can get a more accurate description of who the hell we are as people.
But let me just say this, because I want him to speak, because I don't want to, I know he's a special guest, but you guys, both of you guys, you don't think that a certain element of fear keeps all of us safe? And I'm not just talking about fear of death, okay? Fear of, let's say, walking in a train track. Fear of reaching out to a pit bull that's barking. Fear of, there's fears that keep us safe.
You're
like,
right.
We can't argue that. Like, there's certain fears in life that keep us safe in general. We're not going to just walk in the ocean when the waves come up to our head, just walk in. It's a fear of something that prevents us from making irrational decisions. Am I correct?
I agree, because fear, you could use fear as an ally. You're supposed to use fear.
Exactly.
How do you use that? Expand on that.
Well, I use fear as an ally. Like, for instance, you know, I got fear of poverty, so I know I need to get, I need to work. I need to get me a job.
Exactly.
I'm fair. I'm fair of going back to the penitentiary. So I don't want to go do nothing illegal. I want to do something the right way now. So yeah, it's fair.
Exactly.
Fair.
It motivates
you need
us,
fear.
and it keeps us safe.
And that's like, for instance, if you don't got no fear, you don't got no caution. You throw caution to the wind, and the next thing you know, you get hit in the head with something because you don't fear nothing.
Okay, but do we need, or religion promotes the fear of a horrendous detriment, right?
Yeah, they do that,
right? For us not adhering to certain things that are not just universally beneficial. Like, religion in of itself, and history says this, is very sexist. It's very anti-woman, very anti-female. Religion in the general, they have honor killings, right? In a lot of Muslim countries, honor killings. Whereas if a woman is raped, violated, right, by another man, she's almost disgraced because you put yourself in the position to be raped by this particular family, or by a man of a particular family, and either the family will pay off, like a dowry to absolve the situation, or you will have fathers and brothers that will kill their daughter or their sister. And this is in the name of religion because of how they view women. Understand, there were queens, there were goddesses, right, that were equal in worship to gods, right? That was culture more so than religion, right? Let's get down to the Abrahamic religions, the three: Judaism, Christianity, and the last one, Islam. There are no goddesses in those three religions. Women were demoted in their stature and how they stood next to men. They were demoted. There's no goddesses. They could talk about queens and all this kind of stuff. No, there are no books in the Bible ascribed to women. Meaning like the book of Amy, the book of Tasha, the book of whoever. There's no, they'll talk about women, but there's, God didn't see fit to give women any instruction. God didn't see fit to hand down any particular prophecies to women. No, because men got a hold of certain things and they manipulated it to where they were dominant. It's a reason why there's no commandment that says thou shalt not value another woman's husband. You know why? It's because the thou shalt not value another man's wife was not because out of respect for the man solely. It was because that woman was his property, just as was cattle and other things, livestock, cattle, land. It was his property. It wasn't about the value of the woman. Religion that we know in modern day society over here is very sexist. And so I ask the question is, damn, you're supposed to treat women right. You came from a woman.
I agree.
You got a sister.
I agree.
Right? You respect women.
I was raised by a woman because I only got one uncle. All the rest is aunts.
Shout out to Chester. Don't talk.
Yeah, I forgot about my father, but
shout out to Chester. See, I know it's family. So, like
it ain't that much men in my family.
I got you, but my thing is like knowing that that's Chester, Chester Davis. Like that's Diane Davis' brother. Like I know the family. You feel me? So even growing up, I could look at certain people and be like, I see the foundation. I see and I know certain things. So I'm like, damn, that's what it was because I grew up without a father.
True.
You feel me? So but my thing is when you get down to religion, people think about the good that it does. I'm not denying that. I'm not religious, but I'm not denying that it doesn't have a placebo effect. But the flip side is, and I want you to address this, Tasha, if you can, is the subjugation of women within religion, because it's blatant. It's there. And how do you?
You're right. I mean, you're right. And again, that's why I started off. What did I start off by saying? I said, I'm not saying if it's valid or invalid. I'm just saying, like, I understand its purpose. And there's a medical term that I'm going to apply to what you're saying, because, yes, it does a lot of good, but, yes, there's a lot of bad. But there's something that we call the risk outweighs diversion. So it's like, basically, yes, there is negativity in it. It's saturated with it. Like, nobody can kind of argue that there isn't. However, I do believe that it serves a purpose.
Can I ask you a question? What's the shelf life, right, of the negativity versus the shelf life of the positivity? Because you can say to me, or I can say to you, oh, well, this is the positive aspect of religion and so on and so on. So it gets otherwise, sucks and sucks people to do the right thing. Okay, cool. But now, when we look at the backstory of if a person actually read the Bible or the Quran, and if y'all Muslims out there get mad at me, so fucking what? If you actually read the Bible or the Quran, you will see that the devil was not really the person that, or the being that people think he is. The majority, 98% of the destruction in the world and all the atrocities and was, assigned by this particular biblical God or Quranic God. It was everything that wasn't that God didn't agree with. It was death. It was rape. It was murder. Keep the virgins for yourself. Kill babies, smash babies across rocks. All of these things are in the Bible. Very horrific things. And people actually believed it, and they actually carried it out. They actually did it. So my thing becomes, how do you measure good with the bad? In my opinion, you measure good with bad by long-lasting effects. Long-lasting effects. My thing is, I will teach my daughter, and hopefully she'll teach her children when she has some, to be good to people and be respectful to people, because you have to live on this earth with other people that may have different viewpoints than you. And that's it. There's no, I don't have to say, if you don't do this, God gonna punish you. You don't need that. You don't need that. Because within the same collection of books, from all the Talmud, it doesn't make a difference. All collection of books, people will talk about the punishment that you get. I mean, Tasha, life is like a race, right? We all want to finish favorably, right? Top three, top 1, 2, 3, whatever, right? But in the Olympic race, right, there's no punishment if you finish last. But in the Bible, or in the Quran, or in the Talmud, right, in the Torah, there's a punishment if you finish last. There's something that happens. There's a hell that you go to. Why can't it just be, my soul is just mundane and melancholy, and I just never got a chance to go to heaven? Why do I have to be punished if I don't go to heaven? Like, is there not like a 3-step thing? Like, okay, the extreme is, woo, you go to heaven. Celebratory. Everything is good. All right, cool. You ain't make it to heaven, so you just here just chilling, right? And for people that are fucked up, you go to hell. How come there's no intermediate thing? How come there's always a this or that? And I'm going to answer my own question. It's because fear is a hell of a motivator.
Of course, but that's what we just said and your guest said. Fear, and it works. Like, you got to think about it. From when we're kids, right, there's something called behavioral theorists, right? So behavioral theorists, they believe that there's such thing as positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. We learn that from little kids. We know we learn stuff like, okay, if we, in some cultures, let's say, if we, whatever, touch this, then X, Y, Z will happen. So it's either going to be a negative consequence or positive consequence. The fear of whatever that consequence is going to lead us to either a positive behavior or a more negative behavior. So, I mean, that's what drives us. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, people isolated with religion, but fear is what drives us. Like your guest just said. What's his name again? I'm sorry.
His name is Shawty. Shawty.
Okay. What he said, I totally can relate to, because my biggest fear as well is poverty. Fear drives us.
Are you scared of being poor?
I'm scared to be poor. So I'm scared to struggle. Let me put it that way. Let me change that way. I'm scared to struggle.
I'm talking to Shaw about you. She's straight.
Okay, I'm scared to struggle.
She's straight south side. She's straight south side, Suffolk Boulevard.
Word.
She's straight south side, Suffolk Boulevard. And here's what I want to say. Here's why I respect her, because that's the homie, like, offline. This ain't no radio shit. We talking real talk. Her and I've had many discussions, and we disagree all the time. It's because she just chooses to remain wrong. So it's cool. But to her credit, she's a psychologist for school. So she's more equipped to
Well, now I'm working in a hospital, but yes. I used to be a school psychologist for many years, but actually, you probably don't know that. Now I'm working in a hospital setting, so I had a special program with adolescents in the hospital.
Do you okay?
So go ahead.
Do you have a doctorate in front of you?
Yeah, I have a doctorate in adolescent psychology.
Okay, so she's a doctor in child psychology, in terms of how the fuck children think. So in no way possible can I ever trump her with her logic in her studies. Can't do it. She does the work. She has the credentials. Cool. My thing is, I always like to push and challenge, because you and I may have a practical knowledge, things that we've seen and we felt the emotions from it, whereas she's heard and she's experienced. But
right, you're absolutely right.
We are the guys that would be on her couch talking about, well, it all started when we was 5 years old, right? And I have to keep it respectful, and I have to keep it gully. I respect her opinion because she keeps it gully.
True. And
she's from where we're from.
True.
So
we speak the same language.
Bingo. And she understands it, but she disguises it because she talk like she.
No, I don't disguise it, but no, but to you guys' credit, even though I went to school and I learned this, I definitely never could say that I'm more of an expert than you guys. I just have more experience working with more people who have these situations. But like I said, when I first came out of graduate school, you know, before I got my PhD, and there were people looking at me. You know, I'm 22 years old. I've never smoked marijuana in my life. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I came from a certain background, but I chose a different road because I saw the path that it took my father, who I hope he's not tuned in right now.
He might be.
But anyway, you know he is on Facebook, right, Todd? But
is
anyway.
He? Your dad's on Facebook?
He is, but I don't know if you friends with him. But anyway, so it's like I chose a different path. However, so here I'm 22 years old. I could never come, just like you guys, people who have been incarcerated. You know, I could never sit and act like I understand what that plight is like. I could only share the stories that have been told to me. But you guys are actually like the experts, because in terms of your situation, because you guys been there. So I totally, even though, I got the little bookie knowledge, I definitely wouldn't say you guys are less expert than me. You guys have firsthand experience, so I respect that. I always respect that.
Let me tell you something.
But I want to ask your guest something.
Okay, go ahead. No, ask away.
I want to ask him something. Okay, so back to this religion thing we're talking about. So in your experience over those 30 years that you were, away from us, right, with the people that followed, quote unquote, organized religion. I'm talking about really follow the doctrine. I'm not talking about the little young ones who went in there and they just wanted to hang out with the Muslims to be cool or for safety. I'm talking about the ones who really respected it, followed it, became loyal, compared to the ones who didn't. Who would you say was more reckless in terms of who was living a more immoral life than there? Who was more reckless?
I mean, to keep it real, the people that didn't have no religion, they was a little more reckless, but
exactly,
they was a little more reckless. But I mean, every now and then you get a person that's, they on their deem and all that. They straight and narrow, but then they go around the corner, you catch them doing something they aren't supposed to do now.
So when you say more reckless, there's a thing where you're openly reckless, and you're secretive reckless. Where it's like with me, right? I'm an open pervert. Fuck. I'm not disrespectful. I'm not. Hello, I'm saying this on the open. I'm saying this on the open fucking forum. I'm an open pervert, right? Like perverted mean like I do things that or say things that are against what is the norm for people to accept sexually. I'm never disrespectful, but I say what the fuck I want to say because I know deep down inside the mind of most men that I know, right?
Thinking the same way.
They think the same fucking way. They're just not going to say it.
True.
You feel me? So I'm the one that's like, oh, this motherfucker, he says all kind of shit. Yes, I do, because I know y'all motherfuckers say the same things to each other in private groups and in private settings, but y'all motherfuckers is not like that in public. I choose to be public because One day I'm going to be a real rich motherfucker based upon this radio shit, and ain't nobody going to have nothing to hide. I mean, nothing to show like breaking news. Oh, we been knew that about it. You feel me?
So, you know, as you did it, you gonna do it your way
in advance, right? So my thing is, so when it comes down to it, right? When we talk about people that are hiding, you mentioned guys that are under the dean, right? But they still do what they do.
Exactly.
They just.
But I understand where she's coming from. She's right though. They'd be more disciplined. You know what I'm saying?
Disciplined in their bullshit.
I ain't gonna say in their bullshit, but they be more disciplined. They put it this way. They ain't just running wild. You know, because they can't just do anything. They gotta follow the law. They gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
Is it any less of an offense if? Okay, damn, should I say this? Maybe I should say it. Fuck, I'm gonna say it. Back in the days, I used to say, I'm not gonna sell drugs to certain group of people. No pregnant woman. Mm-hmm. Right?
I wouldn't do that.
And none of my friends' mothers. Right? Right. No, right. That was my thing until, mommy, I'm sorry, but we're gonna keep it real. My friends sold drugs to my mother.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So then now that decree is out the window.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like it is what it is. So we apply our morals based upon how our morals come back to us.
I don't mean to cut you off, right?
Nah, but cut me off. Do it.
We're gonna go to the street right quick. Right. Now I would never sell it to a pregnant woman, you know, an old lady, stuff like that. Now I never really tried to sell it to nobody mother, but however, certain parts of the night, people come out of nowhere that you don't even know, smoke and nothing, and I'm not gonna put nobody's name out there, nobody mother out there, nothing like that. But it was many nights where the mother come, mothers come, I don't even know they even mess around, and they trying to solicit me for something, just
sexual favors and all that.
Now check this out. I'm a 14-year-old boy. My hormones is growing wild. I don't know nothing about not to don't do this or don't do that. But so like I wouldn't want to do it. But I'm just saying that be coming with the territory. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of, like he said, there's a lot of people don't even care. They don't even think twice. Oh, I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
But do you know that in certain stories of war, right? The Bible instructs the conquerors, right, to take the women.
Oh, no, I know that.
As the spoils.
They're the spoil of war. Yeah, make them slaves or whatever, sexually. Yeah.
And only the virgins, right? Because they valued the virgins as being pure and untouched, meaning that I'm the first one to hit that.
I know.
If another dude hit that, you're tarnished, and we don't desire you. You feel me? So I'm saying that a lot of the things that people will go by and their moral compasses is established through biblical texts.
No, I agree, through history.
Right? And my thing is, when it comes down to religion, I was confused as fuck. Right? I was in the Baptist church. Remember the church right on? See, he knows my grandmother too, Miss Holiday. He knows my grandmother, right? On Gabriel, New York Boulevard, right, 10110, right across from the library. That was my grandmother's church, and we used to go there. And I just wanted to just go home. Like, I'm like, okay, he talks so much, whatever. And then when the Jackson 5 Christmas album came out, whatever year that was, that's when my mother decided that we was going to be Muslims now. And, what? My sole concern was, do I still get presents? I didn't understand. I didn't know about the religious aspect. Do I still get gifts? And at that particular time, my mother told me my name was no longer Todd Fontaine. Y'all know my real name, the ones that know me. I was Brother Hassan Muhammad. And I was going to go to Muslim school. And I was scared and I was afraid because I was going to be ostracized by my friends because it was different. And I was like, wow, I'm going to Muslim school. The hell is this about? And her name changed to Sister Diane X, and my stepfather's name changed from Robert Francis to Robert X. This is the heyday. We talking about giving y'all time on 1973, 74. Give me your timeline, right? So it was new to me, and they didn't ask my position. They didn't say, "Yo, what you think? What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" This is where this religion thing kicked in, because we did things based upon the doctrine of someone else. Like, we didn't have our own minds.
I agree.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches. This is what I got, right? And I'm saying to myself, well, what? I don't agree with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right? What if I think that that's bullshit? I wasn't taught to disagree. I was taught to just follow. Let me ask you a question. Is there an overall prison religion whereas you have to follow a code or conduct based upon where you are?
What you mean, where you talking about in jail?
Yes. A prison, a federal prison, because I watched a YouTube video where they had federal prison codes of conduct, right, that were way different from state prison codes of conduct.
I mean, I guess it's a little different. I ain't in none of no religious set, but I might be a visitor in some of them. But nah,
I got the idea. You just never listen.
Yeah, I don't really care about that like that. I mean,
but how did you survive? How did you survive 30 years in the federal prison system, not being affiliated with? Now I'm going somewhere with this. Trust me. You survive 30 years in the prison system, not being affiliated with a gang, any particular religious situation. How you survive, and I know you ain't no punk bitch, so how you survive being a stand-up dude?
I mean, I just basically, I fell in love with running and working out, and
I'm not talking about your physical.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm talking about your mental.
No, I'm great. It's a part. That's a part of my mental.
Right.
Okay.
That's a part of my mental.
Okay.
That's believe it or not.
Break it down, bro. Break it down.
Go run you some 3 or 5 miles. You see how you clear your whole mind up. But no, the physical is a part of it. I started working out. Then I used to play sports all the time. And then one day I woke up. I said, you know what? I gotta get my GED. I'm bullshit. I'm just playing around.
How many years were you in before you got your GED?
8 years, but I could have got it earlier because I used to go to school and I used to be bullshitting though. I wasn't really I wasn't trying to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because I was young. I was still running wild.
You wasn't trying to educate or trying to learn?
I wasn't trying to learn. I was reading, but I wasn't ready for that at that time, to be honest with you. I was reading, you know what I'm saying? So then one day I just woke up and said, you know what, I need to learn how to write. Because I wrote my daughter, and my daughter wrote. I said, I can't even explain myself to her. So I started reading, and I went up to somebody. I started learning how to write, and then next thing you know, I started going to school, and I took it serious. And then once I started taking it serious, my mental started. Then I started watching the news and all that. So now everything started making sense to me now. I'm starting to comprehend the world now. The world's looking different to me now.
And this is 8 years after.
This is 8 years after.
So you're like 26 years old.
Yeah. So now I'm started taking it serious now. Now I'm starting thinking like, oh shit, I'm 26. I'm gonna be here for this. I gotta start getting myself together. I gotta start getting my mental together. I gotta start learning. You know what I'm saying? Start learning how to articulate with people, how to deal. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm taking this like, okay, I'm learning how to deal with people. I ain't have no time to be dealing with no religion and none of that stuff. I'm trying to get my own self together.
What was your mindset like in terms of religion, in terms of God or spirituality, when you heard that this is your sentence?
I ain't gonna say I was mad at God or mad at anybody. I I really didn't believe it, to tell you the truth.
Okay, what was your original?
What went through my mind?
No, what was your original? What was your original? Like when the judge said
He said 405 months to life.
400.
405 months to life. So when the judge said that, I looked at my lawyer and said, "How much time is that?" So she started calculating. Oh, that's 33 years and 9. So as soon as she said that, I looked at the judge, then I looked at the marshals. I said, I'm out of here, man. Get me up out of here. So they took me out of there. But now, I went to the bullpen right quick. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't ashamed to say that I would cry. You know what I'm saying? I'm a thug with a heart. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to say, well, I cry. But only reason why I ain't break down, because they took me out of there quick and took me back to MCC. So now I'm like, whoa, I'm still kind of stuck. Like, I didn't believe what really.
Because you still in Manhattan.
Yeah. So I really didn't, it didn't dawn on me yet, to be honest.
That's the stages of grief, That's the stages of loss. So you were still in that shock phase.
Exactly. I was
then the denial.
I was in denial. Exactly.
Then the bargaining. Then
exactly.
the depression. Then the acceptance. Then the hope. And when you got to that acceptance phase, that's when you started to change yourself.
I agree.
Am I correct? Exactly.
I agree. Because my first 8 years, I was running around. I wasn't wilding out. I'm not wild, but I had a different attitude.
Nah, you a thinker.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I was playing sports. I was.
Yeah, you was always athletic.
Yeah, I was moving around.
And you had 360 waves in your head. You was always
look. I'm dancing. And I'm, think I'm the greatest dancer still. Like I'm in 40 Park. Got my music. I'm in by myself. So a lot of people thought something was wrong with me. They thought I was kind of bugged out.
Why?
But I wasn't bugged out.
Why'd they think that?
Because I was always to myself. And you know what I'm saying? I like I said, I'm going to speak my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And, I did. But like she said, once I started to accept, like, oh, man, I got to get myself together now. Now I was going to a masturbation point of maturing as a man now. You understand what I'm saying? Now I started working in jail where I'm cleaning up. Now I want to work. You know what I'm saying? I always work out, but I stopped playing sports. I backed up off of that. I said, nah,
And you were always athletic.
Yeah, but I backed up off it because I said, I started being more to myself, because the only person know yourself, you got to know yourself before you can help or anybody. You got to know yourself first. So I just started getting into myself.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So that would kind of help me, because I'm going to show you something. When you're in a religion, in jail, it's good. It's a curse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a gift. Reason why I say that, because now you in a religion, and you could be faithful to that, right? And all in faith. But if something happened, now you go astray because of this person that you follow under, and he did something. Now you got to go do something.
Is there allegiance? Is there a certain allegiance to people that share the same faith?
Oh, without a doubt. No. They like I said, it's like a gang. They'll die and kill for each other.
Even if they're wrong or right.
They don't even matter sometimes. They might find out later. Especially it depends on, look, you got.
It's a family, right?
Exactly.
They become like a family.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to show you something. Mm-hmm. You got the Sunnis, right? A lot of them is from Philadelphia, but they from all over. Then you got some that's from D.C. now. So now within them, they all together, but they clicked it. It's a clique now within the religion. You understand what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
How familiar are you with what they call the D.C. blacks?
Oh, I'm real familiar with them.
I asked this question because I got family from D.C.
Yeah.
And my grandfather's nephew told me many years ago, he says, in D.C., we have a different way of thinking, because my paternal grandfather is from D.C. And he says, the way we think in the federal penitentiary is you're not homosexual if you are the guy that's giving it to him versus the guy that's getting it.
That's
And-
that's in our society too.
And I was like,
Not just in
and
institutions.
I was like, no. If you have any interaction with another man, you're homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
But this was not. This is my teachings when I was 12, and I'm like, whoa. I don't know anybody at that particular time that was in the federal penitentiary because it was a Fed thing.
All right, can I say something?
Speak on it, bro.
All right. When I first came there, you know, dudes from DC, but dudes from DC they ain't the only ones that be doing that. It's dudes from it's people. It's like I'm not justifying it or nothing like that, but it's like sometimes it's like, you know, when you in Rome, you gonna do what the Romans do. A lot of times that be happening.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not as bad as it was when I first came to jail, though. It kind of is like a lot of the younger generation kind of is like shy from that. It ain't that much going on, but like the older, it was like, you know what I'm saying. But you have there's some good brothers from DC but see, they got a bad name on them, on a tag on them because everybody think, oh, no, they synonymous to being booty bandits, but that's not necessarily true.
It came from Lawton.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, let's just say, and if I've never said it before, I've spent significant time on Rikers Island. Rikers Island attitude is different because you don't know your fate.
Yeah. So
you become more barbaric. You become more
I agree.
Fuck it, whatever, and just wild because you don't know what's going to happen to you, and it's immense stress. In the Feds, Lawton Penitentiary, they closed it down.
I know.
And then they transferred everybody that was in Lawton over to federal.
Now a lot of them, see, with DC is a lot of them. I hate to say, how can I say it? They are programmed. They are used to being in jail. So when they come to the Feds, it's no big deal. This is like a playground to them. You know what I'm saying?
Because they have people that are not used to their activity.
Exactly. So what they used to the jail thing.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's like HDM, and all of a sudden you go to the 4 building. And HCM is a bunch of grown men, hardcore criminals with their classification at like 30, right? Versus adolescents, and they got like a 7 to 8 classification. And so they don't get it.
True.
My question to you is, you my dude, and ain't no mistake about who the fuck you are. First time we spoke in mad years was not that long ago, and the first time we talked, and I sat across the table from you after not seeing you for 18 fucking years. 18 years, no. 30-something years. Yo, how do you maintain your same respect and your same sense of who you are? Because there's been rumors about you in the hood. There's been so many different things about, yo, what the fuck? Who or what is your God?
My God?
Who or what is your God? Because we're talking about, and I know I jackpot you. I threw it on you, right? Who or what is your God? Like, what particular thing dictates how you feel about things? Oh, you ain't know we give tough questions?
No, I know. That's a tough question. I mean, I ain't gonna say money, my God. I don't know how to answer that. I can't really.
Okay, let me egg.
Maybe you break it down something a little bit.
No, let me egg you on. I define God as an energy, as a force, as something that.
Oh, you mean it like that? Oh
No,
no.
no, no.
Oh, I understand what you're
No, I'm
saying.
giving you. I define God, like the God that I identify with in terms of like, if you want to talk about God, that's the one. Energy.
Oh, I know what you're
The
saying
way
now.
the way we
What
feel it,
inspire you?
the way we feel about each other. God meaning a divine and superior force. Um,
Some people don't have one, Todd. Some people are just living their life. They have goals. They have hope. They have just things that they're working to do. Like, some people don't have that. I've spoken to people who don't have a higher power or something that drives them.
okay, can I ask you a
I'm not
question?
speaking for him,
No,
but I'm just saying
no,
there are people
no,
who are
and
driven
no,
by
and
being good in life and doing different in life.
I'm only asking about a person, and I'm asking you, right, Tosh? A person not having, does not having equate to not accepting? Because here's my thing. I can, right, roll the dice and say, baby need a new pair of shoes. Ha, right? Based upon whatever my belief system is, right?
That's luck, though.
Right? No.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
No.
chance.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
No, but you attribute it to luck. But how can you say that your luck is different from someone else's God? How can you say it? Like, because I said, 7, right? It doesn't happen. And you say it wasn't God's will. Prove it.
I would never say that.
No, I mean, because
I would.
because if I hit the lottery, right? All of a sudden it's God's will.
I agree. But look,
So-
check this out. But there's two things in this world there's effect. It's truth and falsehood, right? They both coexist with each other.
But truth and falsehood.
All right, but look, check it out. They both coexist with each other. They both live in the same realm, right? Now, like you just said, you're God. You said. See, reason why I say I don't put nothing as being my God, because then that's like me saying, okay, money's my God. So that means I'm gonna do anything for some money, huh? Or because you give me some money, now you my God. No,
Right.
so I don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, all right, if that's the case, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, all right, you said you a pervert or whatever you are. I guess I'm a freak by nature, not by force.
And you are.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna say, okay, you bring a girl in here, beautiful girl. And,
But I'm not. I'm not.
no, hear me out.
I'm not
But I ain't gonna say,
decreeing-
oh, that's my God.
I'm not decreeing that by being that what we enrich, right, or we enjoy, somehow makes it right when we infringe upon someone else's privacy. You feel me? Like, I could be like, oh, I'm a pervert by nature. Yeah. But it doesn't make it right if I'm a pervert by nature and I infringe upon someone else's.
No, that's different. You supposed to respect everybody's space. We know that, regardless of what. That's why.
No. Oh, do we know that?
I mean, we supposed to. I said
And where do we learn that?
we learned that from when we was kids.
Where'd you learn it?
I learned that when I was a kid from my grandmother and my mother and all of them.
What she told you?
You supposed to respect people's privacy. you know how your grandmother and them, they be doing something.
Right.
This is grown folks stuff.
Grown folk business, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Sometimes, and Tasha, I know you in, goddamn it, and you're listening.
I'm listening.
Have we been taught things that are only how would you say it? Like I've been taught certain things that was like, that's not how shit goes. But we were taught to not question.
No, I agree. I
Right?
agree. Until you get older, you realize like, yo, that was some bullshit. Yeah,
But guess what? This generation is different, though.
I agree.
This generation is different. When we were younger, we just accepted. I know, like, my Nana, one from, my father's mom, she had us in the church every day. She just had us in the church, so we didn't have a choice but to believe, you know. But my kids are different. Like my son, I remember he's 14 now, but I remember when he was like 8. We went to the Museum of Natural History up there, and he was like, "Mommy, this makes sense. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it." He's like, "Look at the 8, Mommy."
Hold on. I want you to look at my guest on his phone.
Say it again.
I want you to look at my guest on his phone.
Well, wait. You told me if I have, but wait, let me go to the other phone because I'm calling from my other phone. Okay, so I'm gonna go on there and I'm gonna just have to turn this volume down, right?
I'm saying that I want you to look at my guest on his phone because he is so new to everything, and I think that.
Oh,
correct me if I'm wrong, right? I think that you really recognize the real of how I've been telling you, like, yo, listen, come through. We're gonna be talking about the real shit. Da, da, da. He really sees.
I'm loving this. I'm enjoying myself.
Right? And this is what we do.
And I'm shy. He'll tell you.
Nah, this is his first, not interview, but conversation, and trust me, he has so much information to talk about, and it's my dude. That's what I'm gonna say because I'm like, yo, heavens to Murgatroyd, exit stage left, and we are headed to Queens after we leave here, to watch the fight. But my thing is, we got good people in our circle, right? Me and you. I'm your dude. When I first discovered, like, yo, I hadn't heard my dude from, and 20 I don't know. When I first, I'm there.
True. You was there without the first week.
I'm there. And okay, cool. I laugh, joke with your sister because she's crazy, right? But the whole point is, there's a history.
True.
And people point out a one-sided history. And they never give a person that was involved with to talk.
I agree.
So what they get is like, oh, so. I talked to Bimmy in the regular.
All right.
My dude, I talked to. Shout out to James and Bimmy Anthony. I talked to Bimmy.
Ben, what up, kid?
Right? We talk. Bimmy watches the show.
Okay. So
right?
You want to see me?
Listen.
Tell him get with me.
Listen. You don't have to do that because it's going to be done.
True.
I'm just saying that when I talked to you prior, first thing I asked you was like, how comfortable are you with certain things? Right or wrong?
Shit, to be honest with you, I gotta throw that out the door right now. Shit, I'm trying to make something happen. This right here, I might get discovered. I don't know.
No, it's gonna get discovered, and it's gonna happen. But my point was, we come from a situation where like I can't like go with that. You feel me? I can't talk about that.
I feel you saying.
Tasha, you still there?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening and I'm watching on my other phone. I turned the volume down. You know, let me say something was so interesting that you're having this topic and this is your guest. Just today on CNN, they had you guys heard of John Bunn? JOHNBUNN?
Yes.
I heard him.
I have. Yes.
Yeah, that's the black guy who was wrongly convicted for 27 years, and now he started a whole literacy program where he has like a whole he gets books from different publishers, and he's starting libraries all over in different prisons and stuff like that. But anyway, when you were talking, this is for the guest, when he was talking, it's so interesting because when he was talking about being able to write his daughter and and stuff. That was what John Bunn, and just now when you said be discovered, I was like, wow, look how interested in it is, because I believe that so this is my religious stuff, right? I believe there's no coincidences in life, and I think everything is strategically planned by God. I know your audience going to throw tomatoes at me, but anyway, I believe that, and I believe that it's no mistake that I happen to be here on a Saturday night doing nothing and tuning in. So I do believe that everything happens because of divine intervention. But he seems like someone who can definitely give back to our society, and he's at a great space. And if you guys don't mind, I guess I could kind of, you can let me know what it is he's interested in, and I could kind of see if I could, like, share that with people. So if his services or his whatever he's trying to do, I could kind of make, like, kind of networking.
Okay,
I don't mind doing that.
Okay.
'Cause I know a little bit of people,
okay.
You might not think I know nobody, Tyler.
No. Stop your shit. Stop your shit. You can go to InfoMinds, right? Real talk.
InfoMinds, what's that?
Just go to InfoMinds and realize that there's a guy that is named Shaka, but it's a different thing. Here's my thing.
You mean Google InfoMinds?
Yes.
You saying Google that? Okay.
Yes.
INFOMINDS, right?
All right, but
okay.
I'm telling you, from me and you right now, this is my dude. He has a story to tell.
I could tell.
And he has an
inspiring story too. Mm-hmm.
You know what? F you.
I'm just saying.
I'm just joking.
I could tell.
I'm just joking.
I appreciate it, Ma.
No, I'm just joking, right?
He's telling it, and I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, that he is reaching a lot of people, and sometimes, like I always say, even people who say the least in a room, they don't realize how much of an impact they're having. So, anyway, that's all I was going to say. And I'm going to tune in, but I'm going to hang up because my phone about to die.
No, God damn it. No, you're good. What I would like you to do is reach out to him, however y'all correspond with each other. And, bro, she's the real deal. From the hood. Made it out the hood. Her father is
you don't know if he's tuning in. I told you to keep that.
No.
Keep that on the rack.
No. Listen. Her father is an OG for us.
True.
You feel me? We going back to Southside 17. Remember?
What?
Listen.
I wasn't supposed to be where I am. Let's just say it. The same way statistics are against a lot of our young black youth, I'm that person who defied statistics. That's why I love to work with adolescents from not so great beginnings, because on paper, I was a kid that wasn't supposed to make it. You know what I mean, right, guys?
Yeah, but you
know
what?
The kids that don't have,
True.
The kids that don't have a daddy, don't have this. Dad's in prison.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I'm that kid. So, I always tell people that, that's why I do what I do, to be honest. And that's why whatever journey you have to go through your journey, just like I have my story is not easy either. But anyway, that journey led me to what I'm doing. And I believe, unfortunately, your journey, it probably was a little rough. I know it was rough, but you needed to go through that for you to be blessing to us. And it's a blessing from God, but go ahead. Ty gonna kill me.
No, I'm not. I'm talking to my dude Shorty, and he's like, "Yo, she's mad cool. She's fam." Here's the thing: me and Shorty we're going to Queens, right?
Okay.
And we'll be in Queens, South Side. We outside within the next hour, and we're gonna be doing our love and peace talk, and like I said, that's my dude Shorty, and man, you have no fucking idea. So, may I ask you a question? Hello?
You talking to me?
Hell yeah.
I didn't know who you were talking to. Go ahead. I thought you were talking to him.
How much do you view sexism when it comes to religion?
I mean, again, Todd, I understand. I understand that it is very demeaning and it minimizes our role as women. However, remember earlier when I did that little fake plug? The reason I brought up that fake plug, and I'm not going to plug it again, but the reason I did is I wanted to tell you that there are pastors and there are churches that are modernizing it, and they understand that it was written in a time that doesn't apply till now. So the executive pastor of that church father is doing a life sentence, right? Like, she's real. She went to Spelman, grew up in Bed-Stuy, but her father is doing a life sentence right now in prison. She came from, her mother is, I don't know if I should be giving all of that, but she talks about it in service, so it's not a secret. Her mother is no longer living because of the plague that many, people face during the drug epidemic. Okay. But they modernize how the Bible applies to now. So churches like that I can relate to. I can't really, there are a lot of things in the Bible that.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Because you are super stubborn.
I know.
Are you a Taurus?
No, I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay.
Ask further questions.
Yeah.
Say it again?
No, I'm asking my guests to ask further questions to you.
Yeah, no, but I heard what you said, and on one note, you definitely made it from out of the hood, and you an inspiration. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like you said, I don't believe in lucky chances. I believe, I really don't even believe in coincidence, but I believe in serendipity. So you where you at, that's serendipity, because you work hard for that. You know what I'm saying? It was that was meant to be. So
right, but serendipity can be actually synonymous to what's supposed to happen.
I agree.
Which is part of the plan.
True.
The divine plan.
You could throw that in there.
No. You know what? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think my motherfucking homie checked your personal profile on Facebook first. It was like, let me see what shit look like first before I talk.
No, I don't. I ain't on Facebook no more.
No, okay. If you don't know, like, real talk, like the homie, like the girl,
I'm curious.
No, the girl we talking to.
Yeah.
She's mad cool and she's attractive. No, real talk. She's like, if my dude was to ask me like, yo, what's up with old girl? I was like, yo, she cool. She alright.
You're so crazy. Todd, this is not the dating.
That's what I'm about to say.
No, I'm not trying to hook you up with a dating app.
Getting people in trouble over here. Listen, let's go back to the topic. But yes, I agree. It is serendipity. It's a lot of stuff, and it's hard work, and it's also exposure. It's also fear. True. Fear. You know why I never messed with a hustler, Todd? Why I never messed with a street dude, Todd?
Because you were square.
But I'm a square because of what, Todd?
You're a square because of your dad.
Exactly. I learned vicariously. So I saw what his choices led to, meaning his kids not having their father present, and I was determined not to repeat that. So, I mean, but again, it was the fear of repeating that. So that's why, back to what we're saying, I just think fear drives us a lot, and religion instills certain fears in us.
And can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What has the fear in the religious persecution done to actually stop the actual persecution?
Well, it controls behaviors. I'm saying it controls some people's behaviors. If people feel like this outcome, like that's what we've been saying the whole time.
People still suffer.
I don't got all the answers, Sway. I don't have all the answers.
Fam, you see my guess, right? No. You know what? Can I say this? Ready? How the fuck are you all?
I'm saying, what did I start off by saying? Yes, I said I'm not validating it or invalidating it. I could just see its purpose. I went through my own personal journeys of not believing God, like, two real personal times that I stopped believing in God was when my Nana passed away, because I didn't understand how this little lady from South Jamaica, Queens, had all these foster kids in and out of her house, donated all her time and energy to the church, and she suffered the way she did before she passed. So, yes, I question God. There can be a God that's going to let this lady who dedicated her whole life to the good of society, as I saw it as a kid at 11 years old, dying the way she died from Alzheimer's and pain, right? That was the first time. Then, Todd, I don't even know if you know this. 2007, I had one sibling from my mom. You know about my other siblings from my dad.
Yes,
but I had one from my mom, and he died.
Wow.
That was the second time, he died in a car accident. And he followed the path that my father followed. That's something else you probably didn't know.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Are you in Queens?
He was 8 years younger than me, though.
Are you in Queens?
No, I just told you I met him in Florida.
I'm just fucking with you because my guests and I are headed to Queens. And
y'all leaving now? Okay, and I'm holding y'all up.
No, you're not. You're not heading us up. I just love it because you can just talk all kind of shit to me, like right? And wow.
But listen, you cut me off. What I was saying is that that time I did question God too, because I lost my only sibling that I knew really close. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then I couldn't forget the other things the other blessings that I have, and that sounds strong, but there's a lot of other things that I went through, and I can't explain it any other way. So anyway, I came back to a path. So I believe that people have on and off journeys, but I'm not super religious. I'm not, but I do believe in it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not pushing it on anybody.
Can I say you believe because it makes you feel good?
Yes, exactly. It works for me, and I'll admit that.
Okay,
it works for me.
And the same way, I believe, or no longer believe, but I like to gamble when I roll the dice, and I want a certain number to come about. Whatever. Here's the thing: belief is about what we accept in terms of what consoles us, in terms of like our life.
Sorry.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's what consoles us. And I'm not far-fetched or belligerent to saying, oh, you're wrong. Here's my thing. Whatever you do or you practice to make you feel comfortable about whatever, you feel me?
I agree. I totally agree. We finally agree on something. Whatever works for people to make them feel comfortable in life, progress in life, motivated in life. I agree.
We always agree. You just stubborn. Am I lying?
I'm stubborn. Yes, I am. And
no,
you are too.
We are always agreeing, but you are stubborn.
I think in the end of the day, like even your guests, we're all saying that there's some driving force. We may not agree on what that driving force is, but we understand it. I think we also can agree that religion can serve a purpose.
I agree with that.
Do we agree? Do we agree? Let the guests
okay. The last 1 minute, you. Talk your talk.
Let him talk.
Yeah, I agree with that. Religions have a part in this world. I mean, it have its good parts and it have its bad parts. It's what you take out of it for real. You know, that's what I believe. I ain't say nothing bad about it because I do believe in God. It's, you know, somebody had to make it.
Okay. Some God had to make it, and some what had to make it. And on that note, Straighten Up Station, the talk show. Top Fountaine, my dude Shaka. Welcome back. And that little other chick that don't want to just for a lot of shit, love you too. We out.
All right, peace.